welcome back to Boar's Physical Media. I'm Vanessa and he's Charles. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and keep hitting that bell notification every single time that we post a video. You will absolutely know. We have another Scream Factory title, and it is Ghosts of Mars. But again, before I show you the alternate slip, this is actually the slip that you get, which has the original artwork on it. And here is the back. And the alternate slip is very cool looking in the spine and the back. And it has the original one sheet. And the disc art is really cool because the 4K is in red and then the Blu-ray is actually in like a yellow-orange color.
So, once again, we get not one, but two John Carpenter movies in the same exact week.
Yes, this comes out February 11th as well.
Let alone the same month.
I know.
But I know a lot of people do not like this movie. I thought this movie was pretty good. I really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
So, to get it and see the difference from the Blu-ray that I think Mill Creek put out, I believe, and then Sony back in the day, because Sony lost the rights to it.
Yeah.
So, but this movie starring Ice Cube, starring Natasha Henstridge, Pam Grier, and the girl from the faculty, which I cannot remember her name.
I'm seeing if I can see it. Clea Duvall.
And Beekeeper himself, Jason Statham. But he is kind of a little like a horn dog prick in this movie, so he wants to get with Natasha Henstridge like most guys did when they seen her. If you don't know who she is, she started in Species 1 and Species 2. I think she was in the very beginning of Species 3. So.
And she was in Impact as well.
So this movie is basically about Natasha Henstridge, Jason Statham, and the girl she just said that's from the faculty.
Clea Duvall.
Clea Duvall, yes. They are, and Pam Grier. They're police officers. They work for the Mars police force, so they got to go up on Mars and see everything that's going on. And when they go up, well, all hell's broken loose, and they can't figure out why.
Yep.
So
they're here to pick up an inmate.
Inmate, which is Ice Cube's character, which he was accused of murder, but they don't really let on whether he is actually did it or if he didn't do it.
Right.
So, at least I don't remember hearing anything about it.
I think he said he didn't do it.
So he said he didn't do it, but who
But
knows?
I don't know if he was saying he didn't do what was happening here on this part of Mars.
They didn't really elaborate on that much. I guess they figured scroll through that. Nobody really gives a shit about his character. He's a prisoner, and he's trying to do it. And then he got his compadres with him, which is an interesting side of the story too. Yeah, and the one's a complete dumbass. I mean, a complete dumbass to where he chops his finger off. And Pam Grier's character doesn't last too long in this movie. She's kind of
she's supposed to be the leader.
Supposed to be the leader, but she's really not. Let's be honest. Natasha was. And Jason Statham, his name's Jericho in this movie. He does good. He's just a little. He's a prick.
Yeah.
He actually has hair in this movie too, so it looks weird seeing him with hair. This is when his earlier days. I guess he started losing his hair at a young age.
Yeah.
But
I'll try to get it right there or right here. Is it good?
But these people kind of started getting infected, kind of like in The Walking Dead, kind of like a zombie type thing, but it was like a virus. They would
that was already on the planet before, and they had like uncovered everything, and it got out.
And if you kill one, it obviously lets it loose. If you breathe it in, and then you start to turn into it.
But it picks and chooses people.
Yeah. Now there was an entire army of these type people. They call them the Ghost, I guess. But they're hitting you with saw blades. They're hitting you with anything that they can find. They're killing you with.
Yeah, they have mutilated their bodies.
Yeah, the one guy that was in the cell, he was actually cutting his face up, cutting his arms up. So the leader was pretty interesting. Obviously, they spoke in their own language, so you couldn't really understand what they were saying. It's no subtitles for that, so you never get to figure out unless you speak that language. But I don't think anybody in there, I don't think speaks it. But
I think it was a made-up language
but
too.
the point of the movie is for them to get up there, get Ice Cube, which is the prisoner, bring him back where he can have his trial, see whether he's going to be guilty or not guilty. So that's the whole part of the movie. The beginning of the movie starts with Natasha Henstridge's character in court, or not court, but where's the court?
It kind of is a court where they want to make sure that whatever
happened up there, she is telling the
elaborates.
truth. Yeah. So start out with that. Story goes on, leads into action begins. Heads start getting cut off. You got saw blades a flying. You got legs a flying. You got mutilation. You got anything like. And it's set to a awesome soundtrack. So you have like metal and rock music playing pretty much throughout the movie, especially when they're fighting. So it's definitely worth it. And there's actually a vinyl for this that recently just came out from John Carpenter for this movie.
Yes.
Which is, I think it's only like $25, so it ain't that expensive.
We actually found it at our local vinyl shop.
So if you're a vinyl collector, you're into soundtracks, definitely check that out. John Carpenter always does wonderful music. Now, as far as the sound, I thought the sound sounded pretty good, didn't you? I mean, there was only DTS HD Master Audio 5.1, then you have the original stereo mix. I kept it on 5.1. Explosions were great. You heard everything. Dialogue was crystal clear. Even when they were whispering, even with Jericho's character, which is Jason Statham, with his little skankiness with trying to get into Natasha's pants.
Yes.
But that's pretty much the movie. They go to Mars, they want to see what's going on, they want her to tell her story correctly and not elaborate on something else that wasn't true. They're going to pick up Ice Cube, bring him back for his trial, let him see whether he's guilty, not guilty, and it goes off from there.
Yeah. So when she's telling the story, she tells the one part of it, and then when she has to tell like Jason Statham's character's part, she goes back to a part that she had already talked about before, but then does his story from what he has said to her.
They all interlink.
So,
But I'm going to let her read the special features.
So the special features, disc 1 is your 4K. You have a new 4K transfer from the original film negative. It is presented in Dolby Vision. And there is an audio commentary with director John Carpenter and actor Natasha Henstridge. Now disc 2 has the new 4K transfer from the original film negative, but it also has a new Assault on Outpost 13, which is the location they are at, scoring Ghosts of Mars, interview with film music historian Daniel Schwegler, audio commentary with John Carpenter and Natasha Henstridge, Red Desert Nights making Ghosts of Mars, scoring Ghosts of Mars, Ghost of Mars special effects destruction, original theatrical trailer, and an image gallery.
Transfer on this. It reminded me of Vampires, John Carpenter's Vampires, and
because it had those orangey and yellowy and red tones.
Obviously, because Mars is the red planet.
Yes.
So obviously there is a lot of red in it. Not like bright red, but it looks like you're on Mars.
Like a burnt red.
Yeah.
Like a burnt orange kind of red color.
Now, when they were setting fires and raising hell and grenades going off and whatever they could get their hands on, the fire, it literally lit your screen up like the
4th of July.
Yeah, it really did. I mean, the orange really popped off the screen. I was wondering how that was going to do. It actually looked just like I was saying with John Carpenter's Vampire. It looked gold. You had the nice gold fire. That was the ghost. I don't know what the hell they are.
Yeah.
What are they considered? What they really considered them, because they really never went into what they really.
Didn't.
It's mainly people that just got that. They started mutilating herself and shit like that. But the mix of the burnt red planet, like she said, and then the fire, it literally lit up the screen. There was hardly any blurry parts. There any blurry parts that were in it. There's a couple that when they were in the actual prison area, jail cell area, where the characters that were off to the side, it was blurry, but it looked like it was mainly focused to be on whoever was talking, so that part was blurry. But there's certain parts where you could see there was clipboards hanging on the wall. You could actually see the writing, and the writing was small, and you could actually be able to read it. But you don't see that in many movies, so that was definitely detailed in that. But so the transfer kicked ass. The collar timing was definitely on par, and yeah, it's not a movie for everybody. It's like science fiction horror, I would call it. But if you like John Carpenter, you know he's weird. He's done a lot of off the wall movies. I mean, you got Halloween, you got John Carpenter's Vampires, you got In the Mouth of Madness, you got They Live, which obviously Rowdy Piper, that is a great movie. If you guys have not seen that, but this is definitely worth your money. I would say it's for day one for me, because I'm actually a fan of this movie. It's something different coming from him, because you expect Michael Myers and Halloween, and then obviously John Carpenter's Vampires, which was a staple for him. That's become a iconic film. This is not a movie really to sleep on. You got some cool stars in it. You got a hot piece of ass from back in the day, which is Natasha. So if you don't remember her from Species, you should know who that is. You got Jason Statham when he actually had hair before he went. He shaved it pretty much bald. Yeah,
because I think his receding line was too far back.
He's a great actor also.
He could do anything.
Yeah, he can pretty much be in any movie. I lean for him to be more action than I do anything else. But Ice Cube did a wonderful job. He played a good bad guy.
I agree.
He was a dick the whole way through the movie too.
But it is Ice Cube.
He was shady, just like a prisoner would be. His three friends weren't the smartest tools in the shed.
Yeah, well, the one friend was actually his brother.
Yeah.
Which is Uno.
Uno.
Uno, don't stress. That's what they're called.
What names? But movie itself, for me, it's a 5 out of 5. I enjoyed it. I've seen this movie multiple times. I've seen it in the DVD era. I've seen it in the Blu-ray era, and now I finally got to see it, what it would look like on 4K on a great TV. It looks freaking awesome. I agree with him. I grew up watching this movie as well. So and you got to see all different formats. So it's definitely a step up from the DVD, obviously. And it's definitely a step up from the Blu-ray. You can definitely tell the detail that went into to put into this movie, especially from Scream Factory side going in to do the restoration for this movie. They killed it. They really did, especially with the I like how they focus on the planet to make it look like Mars is supposed to look, and how they focus on the fires also. Yeah. And the people look good. You can see every detail in Ice Cube's face. Along with Natasha Henstridge. No, she does not get naked in this movie, unfortunately. So that might be a sad thing.
Well, you do see her in some underwear.
Yeah, you get to see that, I guess. just think about what would happen, and then just go from there. But 5 out of 5 on the movie for me. The transfer is a 5 out of 5. You have a brand new special feature, so that would, for me itself, and then you got all the other features that were transferred over from the Sony release, Mill Creek release, and now the Scream Factory release. So I would give it a 5 out of 5 down the board. So it's well worth it. You got John Carpenter's Vampires dropping Tuesday. You got Ghost of Mars dropping Tuesday. That's 2 John Carpenter movies that you could pick up. I recommend day one on this, especially if you're a fan. If you're not, wait for a sale. But give this movie a chance. It's well worth it. But
definitely go over to Shout Scream, because you do, like we said, you get these really cool alternate slips. And it's not much more than paying for just the regular one.
Really, it's not.
It's not. It's only like a few dollars more. And the way they package everything and the way they ship, they make sure nothing gets damaged. And if something is damaged, they actually take their time to make sure that they get back to you as soon as possible. And no, we're not just saying that because we do work with them, but we've never had an issue with them ever, even way before we even worked with them.
I love doing reviews for these guys. They put out great movies. I know a lot of people shit on Scream. I can't for the life of me figure out why.
I think they just want to complain.
I think they do, but everybody
everybody has ups and downs. So
they're a great company. They're a great label. They got a great group of people working for them. Just like Vinegar Syndrome has a great group of people People bitch about them too, but that goes one ear and out the other. Arrow has a great group of people. Now the bigger labels I can't say the same for, but
yeah.
It's nice to be getting movies from Scream and Shout. They do excellent jobs on them. So I'm definitely privileged to get on here and review their movies. I definitely appreciate it. They put out some bangers, and they continue to put out bangers. Plus, we get 2 John Carpenter movies in a week. Ghost of Mars, Vampires comes out this Tuesday. Like, comment, subscribe. See you on the next one.
Bye.